What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin Sports with Jake. Hope we're all doing well. So let's start out with the MLB All-Star Game starters were just announced. Of course, I went over the home run derby rules on Wednesday, but I hope everyone had a very fun and safe Independence Day yesterday. Happy 4th of July to everyone. Go over the All-Star Game starters. American League, playing the plate is Adley Rutschman. He gets to the nod for the second straight year. To me, he's the best catcher in baseball. Guy's an absolute stud. Pushes on both ends. He's a monster at the plate and a phenomenal defender. At first base, it's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. for the fourth time in his career. At second base, it's Jose Altuve for the ninth time. Altuve even puts back in his career, still a phenomenal player because Astros are getting hot. Have won 12 of the last 14 games, and all of a sudden, we're only a couple games out of first place. Third base is Jose Ramirez, gets the sixth nod in his career. Gunnar Henderson is the shortstop in the American League. Of course, for the first time in his career, was Rookie of the Year last year and has had another phenomenal year. As of a few days ago, he had 26 home runs. He's the only guy that's announced he will be in the home run derby. He's had an amazing year. He's followed up a strong rookie year with an even better year. The outfielders were Aaron Judge. He got his sixth nod. Of course, he's got a chance to hit 16 home runs again. Walton Sug gets his fourth nod, of course, for the first time in the American League. And Stephen Kwan makes the All-Star Game for the first time. He's hitting about 360 right now. That leads in major leagues. And doesn't Harris, Jordan Alvarez, who gets his third career nod. Going to the National League, William Contreras in Milwaukee gets his second nod. The first time, I believe, as a starter. At first base is Bryce Harper. From the ninth time in his career, first time at first base. Of course, he made the full-time transition to first base, so he came back to first baseman last year. Of course, was an outfielder his whole career. I mean, right, he had some shoulder problems and some other problems that, a couple of years ago, Phillies had to make him a DH full-time, and then last year, coming off surgery, he couldn't play the outfield at first, and they put him at first because House comes out, and they decided to keep him there full-time. Second base was Ketel Marte from Arizona, second nod of his career. At third base is Alec Bohm. Alec Bohm, for the first time in his career, is an All-Star. He's had a really good year, the best year of his career. He was a top prospect when he came up. He's always been a really good hitter, but was never really able to defend much at third. He has gotten a little better over there, but he's had the best year of his career. He's currently he was named the All-Star starter at base from the National League. Shortstop was Trey Turner. The only problem I have with that is that he's only played 46 games. He missed a lot of time, but he's a great player. Last year didn't have his best year, though got hot towards the end of the season. And the outfield was Christian Yelich. Gets his third career nod. Fernando Tatis gets his second career nod. He's currently hurt, so we'll see if he's able to come back in time. And Jurickson Profar with his first ever All-Star nomination. That's a really cool story. About 10 or so years ago, he was the best prospect in all of baseball. The Texas Rangers had a lot of injuries, missed like 2 years of injuries. Finally got on the field, wasn't nearly the player that Texas thought he was going to be. Then he ends up, he's bounced around the league for a while. He's, transitioned to a full-time outfielder. He's been with San Diego for a couple of years and just turned to a really solid player. Not quite the guy he thought was going to be, but he's made a very nice career, and he just made the All-Star team as a starter in the National League as an outfielder. Of course, Shohei Ohtani made his All-Star team for the fourth time as a designated hitter. Dante Porter was just charged with a federal felony connected to the betting scandal that got him banned from the NBA. Look, this is what happens when you make stupid decisions. One bad move can ruin your career. It's a shame. But, look, it is the problem that Dante Porter got the hammer brought down on him. He got banned for life, and now he might be going to jail. Meanwhile, Miles Bridges, was in the league last year. He's currently a free agent. He might get signed by somebody else. Kevin Porter Jr., the Clippers just signed him to a 2-year deal. After everything he's done, that's a major, major issue. It does not make a lot of sense. The NBA AMP's never got to answer all the questions with that. But at the same time, it does not make what Dante Porter did right. I like betting on sports as an athlete. If you're betting on another team, another sport rather, don't think it's a problem. Guys should not be able to bet on their own sports. I don't care if you're betting on your team to win. That should not be allowed at all. Too many possibilities when it comes to point shaving and just very shady, and that should not be allowed. But to bet against your team, like the fact that you're as gifted athletically as Celtic Ford, yes, was a guy, on a bad Raptors team, was a third string player, but still, he's going to be in the NBA. He's one of the best basketball players in the entire country. You're this athletically gifted, you're getting all this money. You're even making the league minimum in the NBA. You're making close to $1 million a year, and you just have to bet on, and you decide to bet on your team to lose. Like, that's just pathetic. And he's unfortunately going to get what's coming to him because this is clearly a little bigger than the NBA and himself, and he's got to you better get a good lawyer to make sure that he does not see. So a couple of moves happen when it comes to NBA free agency. We have one smaller signing. The Miami Heat signed Alec Burks to a one-year deal. Fine signing. Burks last year averaged 10 points a game, shot 39% from the field, 37 from 3, 86 from the line. He played decently well for Detroit. I mean, no one was going to say Detroit last year. He averaged 12 points a game. Was not very good with the Knicks. Didn't play nearly as much, but in 23 games with the Knicks, he only averaged 6 points a game. Was not very good. Was not bad in the playoffs. Didn't really play in that first round series against the Philadelphia 76ers, but he had to play a lot more in the second round against the Indiana Pacers because of how many injuries the Knicks had. In fact, the last 2 games, he actually played very well for them, and a few guys have actually stepped up. He's overall had a good career. For his career, he's a 12 points per game scorer for his career. The most he averaged 15 in 2020. I think between Philly and Golden State, that's the best mark of his career. He averaged overall 10 last year, including 12 with the Detroit Pistons, who he spent most of the year with. Of course, he went to the next at the trade deadline. He's much older. I think he's been in the league 13 or 14 years. I think next year will be his 13th for his 14th year in the league. And he's a decent three-point. He's an average three-point shooter to have on your bench at this point in his career. He's a versatile defender and he can shoot a three. That's about all he can do. He's not the super crazy athlete. That's crazy facilitator or rebounder. He's older, but he's a fine three-point shooter to have on your bench. He did shoot 37% from three last year. That's with playing as bad as he did with the Knicks towards the end of the regular season. And the Golden State Warriors get Buddy Hield from the Philadelphia 76ers to give a 2031 second-round pick for him. Give him a 2-year, $22 million extension and a sign and trade. That's a really good move for the Golden State Warriors. Buddy Hield's a very good player. I've always thought he's underrated. Last year for Philly, averaged 12 points a game, shot 43% from the field, 38 from 3, and 88 from the line. For his career, he is a 40% three-point shooter. I think he's got the second. I think he might have the most three-point attempts since 2019. He's the second leading scorer, I think, from his draft, which is 2019. He's only missed 8 games, I think, or 6 games in 8 years in the league. He's a proven vet. Nothing special or scary. He's obviously not going to be Klay Thompson 2.0, but he's a very good shooter. And Golden State definitely needs shooting. Us to have Stephen Curry. There's really nobody else that can shoot over there. Their offseason's obviously been pretty brutal. Now you lose Klay Thompson for nothing. You obviously you cut Chris Paul. And obviously last year, Mike Malone Jr. GM got the job after Bob Myers stepped away. He traded Jordan Poole for nothing. All he got back was and he threw in like Ryan Rollins and one or two other scrubs for Chris Paul, who he just waived, and now he's on the Spurs. And like a pick in like 7 or 8 years from now. So he literally traded Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, Chris Paul, and like 2 other guys, and I think a pick swap in 2030 for like a pick in 2031 and a couple second rounders. That's bad. And now you look what they have now. You have Steph, obviously, still a great player. Out of another, this is really just Steph Curry. I mean, you bring in Buddy Hield, he's a nice rotation piece. He's a very good shooter to have on your bench. He'll probably be their starting 2 guard. He's a good sharpshooter. He's like honestly, he kind of reminds me of JJ Redick in a way. When JJ Redick was a player. And other than that, like Andrew Wiggins did not have a good year last year. Draymond's past his heyday. Kevin Williams is a great rebounder, but that's about all he's good for. Other than that, Jonathan Kuminga's like he's a young piece they have. He played very well last year once he was put into the starting lineup. But yeah, Moses Moody hasn't shown you much so far. Podzinski had a nice year last year. He was second team rookie. He kind of came out of nowhere, had a decent rookie year last year, but other than still don't know if he's. I don't think he's gonna be a star by any means. He could be a decent player, but there's nothing there. When it comes to young pieces, especially, Stephen Curry's going to be, 36, 37. Draymond's going to be 34, 35. He keeps getting suspended. Clay's no longer there. Empress Paul's isn't there. It's hard to see this team being much more than the playing exit yet again next year. But they have a couple young pieces. And they're trying to get Lauri Markkanen. I'm not sure what they would give up for him. Like, I don't think you can trade. I would not trade Jonathan Kuminga for him personally. But maybe Moses Moody. I don't think anyone would take Draymond. I don't know why Utah would do that. He's making $25 million a year for the next 3. He's 30, gonna be 34, 35 years old. He gets suspended all the time. He's got a big mouth. Yes, he's a great defender. He's still a good defender, and obviously he's had a great career as a defender. He's got 4 championships, which does matter, but this point in his career, I don't know why you would take it, especially a team like Utah. It's trying to get younger and retool. Also, they're probably going to want to garner a wing back. They have so many bigs over there with Walker Kessler, Steve Markkanen, John Collins. There's so many of them over there. So they probably want to garner a wing anyway. So they probably, I'm not sure if they even want Draymond. I would not want Draymond. One career. The Seattle Kraken hired Jessica Campbell as an assistant coach, and she makes history. She is the first woman to be a full-time assistant coach in the history of the NHL. That's great, for a woman in sports. Obviously, there's a bunch of them in the NFL. Has been for a few years now. I know there's one in San Francisco. There's a lady in San Francisco who's got a pretty solid role as well. They just had one at one point. Tampa's, I think, got a couple. So this is obviously Becky Hammon was the top assistant for the Spurs for a few years. She actually got some interviews for NBA head coaches. She's now a coach in the WNBA. So that's very good to say. So Jessica Campbell is now an assistant coach of the Seattle Kraken. And the Detroit Red Wings signed Vladimir Tarasenko, 2-year deal worth $9.5 million. Tarasenko's a little bit older. Still a very good player last year. 23 goals, 32 assists, 55 points. He's still a solid second line wing. He's still a solid top 6 forward. He's got 2 Stanley Cups. He's still a very good player, and he's brought in by Detroit Red Wings. And to close out, the WBC has expelled Ryan Garcia, the boxer, for racial slurs he made on a live stream. This guy is such a freaking idiot. Like, I don't understand. He's got all these claims about stuff that happened to him when he was younger, and I think he's claiming abducted by aliens. He's one of those guys. He's made some weird claims that they're very serious. If they're true, it's, all right, they're very serious, and, it's tough that these things happen to him, but he hasn't been able to back any of these things up. Obviously, he is currently serving a 1-year suspension because, the fight with Devin Haney, he originally didn't even make weight. He didn't make it. He was a couple pounds over. It was about like 2 or 3 pounds. It wasn't like that. The one guy a couple years ago who was literally 0.1 pound short. Like 2 or 3 pounds over. So they still had the fight. He beat him, but I think it counted as a loss on Haney's record, but it did not count as a win on Garcia's record. And you still have to pay Devin Haney like $4 million or $10 or $5 million, something like that. Then it came out that he tested positive for a PED, and so the fight was overruled to a no contest, and he was suspended for a year. He denied it, of course, and now he's been expelled for using multiple racial slurs, and he also, I think, he disparaged the Muslims as well, which of course is absolutely horrible, on a live stream. Then he tweeted out, "I was just trolling. I apologize if I offended anyone. Just BS, nonchalant, terrible apology." The guy is a complete freaking moron. It's a shame. He's a young guy, talented boxer, but and he's completely thrown his career away. The guy's an absolute bum and is a complete idiot. But that's all I got for you guys today. We'll see you guys all on Monday. Until next time, so long. Have a great day.